be it in friendship, in love relationships, in advertising, in the workplace, in the news. It doesn't matter where you look or who you are talking to. The situation is either you will be persuading someone or someone else will persuade you. In this video, I will be sharing 6 universal rules of persuasion given by Dr. Robert Cialdini, an international expert in this field of persuasion. After watching this video, you will be able to delve into human psyche and can readily understand how people are trying to persuade you in your everyday life. Also, we will share some tactics in order to prevent yourself from being persuaded or manipulated. First universal rule is reciprocity. According to this rule, if we get favor, gifts from someone without even asking, we are more likely to feel obliged to them. Now, how to escape from these influential tactics? Whenever you will see someone doing something with his heart, he won't ask something in return. If you see that that individual is wanting something back, avoid falling into it. Now, the second universal rule is scarcity. According to this rule, whenever something gets the verge of being run out, we tend to attach greater value to it. For example, we will see in sale, people or the salesman often use time restriction. For example, they say that this product will be available until tomorrow morning. So what happens? This promptly delves into customer psyche and leverages on our fear of losing that product, or we start thinking, oh my goodness, we might lose the opportunity to save our money. In this case, this scarcity universal rule is applied. Now, our question is how we can save ourselves from this trap. Whenever you will see yourself that you are falling into this kind of trap and you see that opportunity is limited in time, evaluate if you really need that product or that information and don't let your instinct advise you. Now, the third universal rule is social proof. Or when people are confused or in a situation with lack of information, they tend to consider the behavior and choices made by a large number of people to be more valid. This rule exploits the cognitive bandwagon bias. For example, if you see a video across social media and you'll see that in the comment section, majority people are supporting it, they are giving positive feedbacks, then you instinctively start thinking that the message which is given by this video is absolutely correct. So this falls under that universal rule of manipulation, which is called social proof. And it exploits our cognitive bandwagon bias. It means we tend to take majority's decision as the right decision. But how to defend yourself? Try not to fall into the trap that if many people think so, then it's right. Next is liking. This exploits the cognitive halo effect bias. What is halo effect? This effect is created whenever we like someone. We tend to think that this people has more likable or laudable qualities. You are going to a shop where the salesman is preferable to you. You are more likely to buy a wrong product from that salesman. What you will do is you will try to separate that person trying to selling you the product and ask yourself, if the same product is being sold by another person, will I really be able to make this purchase? If your answer is no, then don't buy that product. In this way, you will be able to save yourself from this halo effect bias. Then we have in our list authority. So in general, we tend to follow orders given by a person in uniform or advice given by an authoritative person in a particular field. This phenomenon is more common in case of commercial. You see that in marketing commercials, dentists are suggesting toothpaste or toothbrush and so on. Now, how to defend yourself from this rule of authority? So whenever an idea or behavior is being suggested by someone of authority, for example, a dermatologist is suggesting skincare, there is no guarantee that you cannot be 100% sure that this person is giving right information. Neither you can be sure that this person is giving false information. The next rule is rule of commitment and consistency. According to this rule, if you are saying something before more than one person, you are more likely to be consistent to it. Might happen many a times with you as well. Your friends group, suddenly another person comes and asks you to do him or her a favor, and at this point you cannot say no to them. At as you are saying yes to them before your friends, you are more likely to maintain it. Now, how to save yourself from this rule of commitment and consistency? It becomes quite difficult to escape from this rule. So what you can do is you have to use assertive statement or assertively communicate. You have to assertively communicate to the person you are interacting that you are not willing to fall into this kind of trap and you're not willing to be manipulated. Finally, the last rule in this segment is the community effect. According to this rule, the idea that by sharing an identity with someone else, one is then more inclined to accept his request. This is also known as in-group bias. This happens more or less that because of this community feeling, you will more likely to be reciprocate towards your group members. Like the last one I've mentioned before that the rule of commitment and consistent, it's difficult as well in case of the community effect. In order to avoid being a victim of this type of manipulation, it is necessary to be aware of the processes underlying.